Hey, how's everyone doing today? We're going to change out a serpentine belt here on this 2012 Freightliner with a 12.7 Detroit in it. Thought I'd just make a quick video on it in case somebody doesn't know how to do it. It's really simple. All you need is a half-inch bar here, or even a ratchet will do. Longer handle the better, just makes it easier for you. Then your new belt, just go to the dealer or parts house and tell them what kind of vehicle you got there and they can get you a new belt. They're only about 30 bucks. Now, this is just a good preventive maintenance item thing to do. I change mine once a year, or about 150,000 miles. It's just more convenient to do it that way. By that time, they're starting to crack a little bit. Now, you can run it till yours shows signs of cracking or wearing or needed to be changed, but just in my personal experience, I like to do it before there's a problem. You know, Murphy's Law says, you know, everything will go bad at the worst possible time. So if your belt's going to break, it'll break when you're under a tight schedule or can't afford the time to stop and get it fixed, or it'll happen on a night when it's 0 degrees and you're sleeping and you wake up and your truck shut off because you ran out of power and enough power in your batteries. So I like to do mine and take care of it before anything bad goes. It's just a really cheap, easy thing to do. So I'm just going to show you here that now this is a 12.7 60 series Detroit. It's probably one of the easier motors to change a belt on. That being said, there are different belt configurations even for this motor, and you know, every different motor has their own configuration. Some of them run a 2-belt system, some of them are all in 1 belt, some of them you have to feed it over the fan blades to get it on, some of them you don't. So I suggest taking some time before you have a problem, just taking a notebook and diagram it out, how your belt goes on, so that in the event you have to change it on the side of the road or whatever, you don't have to sit there and try and figure it out. You can just boom, boom, and you're done. Take a picture with your cell phone and keep that picture forever, you know. And then keep your old belt until it's time to change it. You know, just keep, every time you put a new belt on, take the last old one, throw it away, but always keep a spare belt in your truck. There's no sense in having a service failure, being late on a load, or sitting somewhere because you broke a doggone belt and you couldn't make it to a shop, you know, before you ran your batteries dead or whatever, your truck shuts down on you. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Not too hard. I don't know if you can hear all that racket, but it's live right on a snowmobile trail here, and it's a beautiful day. Snowmobilers are out hot and heavy just getting after it, so I don't blame them. Looks like a lot of fun, but we got work to do. Alright, so here's what this looks like. Pardon all the salt, I really need a wash here. It's just been a sloppy, salty mess for the last week or so. Just want to find your belt tensioner right there. That's where your half-inch drive is going to go. Boy, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. There. Okay, got that in there. And all we're going to do is just, you got to take the tension off that belt. See, we just rock it to the side. And then you unhook your belt wherever it's convenient. There. Now you got all the slack you need in your belt to get it off. So just a rule of thumb, if you're new to this, any of these pulleys with a groove here is going to get the side of the belt with the teeth in it. Anything that's smooth here, like your tensioner pulley, the back side of the belt rides on that. Now while you have all these off, or have the belt off all these pulleys, you just want to, you know, spin them, wiggle them around, try and see if you got anything looser. Here, you can see how freely nice the air compressor spins here, for instance. It's not gravelly, there's nothing loose. Do the same with your alternator, especially your tensioner pulley here. Those things, you know, eventually go bad, especially they're known for doing it on the Detroit. I've already replaced this one at, I think 700,000 miles. It was getting a little rackety. So I just changed that, and all you have to do, it's really easy, pull this one bolt out here This goes into the block, and on the back side of this, there's just a notch that lines up with the hole in the block, and then your bolt hole. It's a pretty simple deal. So I'm gonna pull that belt out of there, and the only thing, well, it's not even difficult, but I can't do it with one hand and hold the camera. I have to fish the belt out from behind the tensioner pulley here. That's the only difficult thing on this motor. Like I said, it's pretty darn easy, so I'll get that done. I got the old belt off here. Just want to take a look at it quick. It's really not in that bad a shape. What you're looking for on a belt, you know, is any chafing anywhere, which this doesn't have. And then cracks, you know, this is getting minor cracking. It's really not bad at all. I could have run this a while, but like I said, I like to do it preventatively. You're looking for a lot of cracks like that there. And then you can see this one rib here has got irregular wear in it. So I'm going to take a look at all the pulleys and make sure there's nothing fishy going on there. And then just, you know, any abrasions, any kind of damage. This belt, like I said, really not that bad. But they also get hard and brittle over time. So always take your new belt. Make sure they're, you know, similar. The old belt, it's always going to be just a tiny bit bigger because they can, you know, they stretch a little bit from use and wear. Now, this is just my personal opinion, but I don't like to use belt dressing or anything like that. You know, like a lot of times if you got a squeaky belt, something, I'll just put some belt dressing on it or whatever. My personal preference is just change the doggone belt. You're just masking a problem, whatever the problem is. If it's the belt or a pulley, better off to just find the problem and fix it than try to hide it. You're not really doing yourself any favors in the long run because you're just going to have a problem. So I'll fish this one back in there. I don't think I can do it with one hand. We'll give it a try. Here's the only tricky part. I'm going to set the camera down for a second. I just got to feed this belt in behind this pulley. I need two hands to do it. Belt on the other side of that pulley. Got it lined up on the different pulleys here. All I have to do is when I pry on, yeah. All I have to do when I release this tensioner here, it's going to give me some slack in the belt, and I can just pull it over the alternator here. Let me just going to set the camera here for a second. There. I don't know if you can see me do that or not. Okay. Now, you need to make sure you're centered on these pulleys with them teeth so the belt's not rubbing on either side. Always check all of them. The belt here is riding on that pulley the same way the old one did. You can see, you got your wear marks here. And then we're straight on this pulley also. So we look really good. And we're all set to go. So when you're done, just start the vehicle up and make sure everything runs true. That's all it takes. That was a 5-minute job and can save you a bunch of hassle later on down the road. And not to mention, while you have it apart, you get a good analysis of what's going on here with your other pulleys. So all right, hope that helped.